today we are making cocoa butter soap. Now don't get excited, that cocoa butter is too expensive to use it as a base oil. That's my opinion and I'm going to stick to it. But I think it would make a really great soap if we put large quantities of it in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to make goat's milk cocoa butter soap. Alright, like super moisture crazy fun. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is mix our lye. And I'm going to put on my handy dandy gloves. And, you know, I think, look at that, I got 2 left hands. Well, I'm going to have to find a right. That sounds just like something I do. Let's see, there we go, there's a right. Okay. Alright. And get the little boogers on there. I like these that come way up on the arms and they're thicker plastic than just the little dot, the ones that like hospital and nurses use and stuff. But to each his own. Alright, so we're going to need a whisk. I like the fancy one with lots of little whiskey things that's long like this one instead of just your average one. I like a long one. Alright, and then we're going to need some water, and that's distilled water I put in that pitcher. You can use well water, you can use city water, you can use whatever water you want to use, you know, but if you use well water, you could have reactions from natural minerals that's inside the well water, so you just have to test it. If you get creek water, boil it first. Rainwater, boil it first. Get the bugs out first. If you're going to sell your soap, whatever kind of water you're using, put it on the label if it's not distilled water, okay? If it's not water that you bought at Walmart in the little gallon jugs or the, you know, one of the stores around town. You know, put it on the label what kind of water you're using. So, and you know, because like if you use city water, it's got chlorine in it, people are taking a bath in a chlorine water shower, then what's the difference? But if these people have a special filter on their house to keep chlorine out of their hair because it messes with their hair color, and then you're sticking chlorine water in your soap, then you're putting chlorine right back in their hair, and they're going to be pissed off. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. So anyway, so if you're using something besides distilled water, I mean, you put that on there too, but if you're using something besides distilled water, put it on your label. Alright, so I've got me a nice tall water pitcher. We've been using these things for years. They get sort of cloudy after a while, and you never know, it might have been cloudy when I bought it, one of them foggy frosted plastic, but in any case, I like this because I can put my whisk down in here. And it's really hard for the lye water to pop out and spray me because the water level's down here. So that's that. And then I like a tray to put it on so I can get this to the sink without dropping lye water all over the floor, where the children and the puppies, much less myself, run around barefooted, might end up stepping on it. So we got that down pat. Alright, so we've got our, I like this container here because if I let go of it, it lets go. But if you use one of them measuring cups where your fingers can get stuck with these gloves, you can end up dragging it and dumping lye everywhere when you try to take your hand out because of the gloves. So I like something I can let go of real easy, and we've been using that for years. Bridget's here today. Say hey, Bridget.
Hello, y'all.
And she tried real hard to clean that up. I said, my gosh, that thing looks bad. But you know, lye is hard on stuff. And I said, maybe you should try to clean that up. She gave it her all, and she said, Mama, that's just it. That's what it looks like. I was like, okay. So anyway, so I love these. I picked these up at the Dollar Tree for $1. And it used to have, what's the name of that? Betty Crocker written right here. But we've done scrubbed it off trying to keep these things clean. So anyway, so now we need our goggles. If you get lye water in your eyes, you have to go to the hospital. I had a woman call me and she was like, I got lye water in my eyes. I go to the hospital. She did. Then she couldn't get them to take her back and see her. And they didn't think it was that dangerous of a thing. I guess the nurses didn't. But, and I told her, I said, you know, we're respectful people, but start pitching a fit right now. I said, because that lye water is eating on your cornea and you're going to go blind. I said, start pitching a fit. If you've ever pitched a fit in your life, pitch it now. And she started pitching a fit, and they took her back there and neutralized that lye. So, I mean, out of her eyeball. So you can put vinegar and water, you can flush any other place on your body with just water and then put vinegar on it, and ta-da, it always works for me. Some people says it ain't good enough, but it always has worked for me. Takes the sting right out. But if you protect your eyes, your soap won't get ruined while you're at the hospital. Alright, so, and then if you have breathing issues or wish to go the next step, you can put on a mask. I don't go that step. So that's another. Alright, so now we're making soap, so we gotta have lye. And I think the best place to go is Essential Depot lye. And if you've mixed up lye before, you've had that white stuff float on the top, and that's caused when air contacts the lye. So how you want to prevent that issue, because they explained it to me. It's something about how that when lye gets in contact, so like if you open your lid and leave it sitting off on the counter, the top layer of that lye, it comes in contact with the air, and there's a little reaction that occurs, and it weakens the lye. And so you never pour it up before you're ready to use it. I mean, it's boom, boom, thank you, ma'am, okay? And whenever you've had the lid off, pour in lye, and then you put your lid back on, sit it on the shelf. The next time you get it, you do this. And that disperses that top layer of lye that came in contact with the air. And people explain this stuff to me, and sometimes it goes over my head. I'm real crafty, but some of these big long words, I can't even pronounce them. But it has something to do with the air contact. So if every time you buy lye, if you will, every time you pick up your bottle, if you'll shake it, and the first time you get it, there's air right there in that bottle. Because when they put it in, it fills it all the way up to here, and then it settles. Because that stuff's fine powder. And so there's air right here. So that first little layer, I like to do this, and that takes care of that problem. And and then limit your air contact as much as possible. Please do not run lye in your vacuum seal bag machine. Please, just keep the lid on your bottle. All right. So now we're doing a recipe today that needs 11 ounces of lye. Is that right, Bridget? Isn't it 11 ounces of lye I need?
I do believe so.
It's written over there on the door.
Let's look.
All right. It's 26. All right. So we're going to turn on our scale with this container on the scale, and that'll tear out the scale for me. And so then I'm going to pour this, and Alright, I can't believe I did it that perfect. But if you get too little, get you one of them little 1/4 a cup measuring spoons, and you can do it, and then you can put there and shake it and get all the lye back in the bottle. I normally have one of those out when I'm doing this class, so that people can see me do that. But I just get a little bit out and put it in there and shake, get a little out, because you can put the whole spoon down in there. Because if you try to pour something back into this bottle, static cling will just go, it just goes everywhere. So, an Essential Depot food grade lye. I love to be able to tell my customers that I'm using food grade lye. No technical or chemical grade for them. All right, so here we have our lye, which is having contact with air. So we need to hurry. And we're going to use 26.6 ounces of water, but I have 13.6 ounces of goat's milk here. So that means I just need 13 ounces of water. So we're going to put 13 ounces of water in here. Well, we was. Wait a minute, this is the one I'm using. 12.9. 13.1. I never fuss about 0.1 or 0.2 over on the water. Bridget, I'm going to give that over there to you for you to take that to and set it over there on that counter and just get it out of my way. I don't want to dispose of it. Alright, so I've got 13 ounces of water. I'm going to get my scale out of the way. By the way, this is a Taylor scale. You can get these at Walmart. They are my absolute favorite in the whole wide world, and I've bought all kinds of fancy ones, but when Walmart gets these in, I buy every one on the shelf if I'm there shopping for scales, because I love those Taylor scales they sell at Walmart. They're stainless steel top, and you can spill stuff, and this water or nothing can get down in there. I don't know how many of the fancy scales I bought online, oil spilt on the screen, and it run under the screen and run the digital mechanisms. So I love that stuff. All right, so now there's a couple of different mojos here on the lye. Some people want you to sprinkle and stir, and you should have 2 hands on your lye water, okay? All right, and then sprinkle and stir, sprinkle and stir, sprinkle and stir. And I'm a dumper, and I own that. I just dump it in and stir. I'm sorry, but if you want to do it the right way according to everybody, put that in the sink for me, darling. If you want to do that the right way according to everybody, sprinkle, stir, sprinkle, stir, sprinkle, stir. You're supposed to add the lye to the water slowly. All right. And so we're just stirring, and what we've done is we've put half of the water here, and then half of the liquid is in goat's milk. But I've put all of the lye in here, so this is going to get extra hot because it's not as diluted. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put it in the freezer. I know, it's so nice to have one so handy. So there it goes in the freezer, and that's going to chill that down for me, and everything. And then we'll take this on to the sink. I'll bring you right back, and we'll start working on our oils. All right, and we're back. This is an empty red lid, and we're going to put our oils in the crock pot. So what you would do is you would turn on your scale with your empty lid on there and let it go to 0, okay? And so what we're going to do today, because I've pre-measured, is normally then you would measure out your coconut oil and do your liquids first and do them in separate containers. Because if you over pour and it's a mixture of, let's say, soybean and olive oil, you can't pour back the extra. So always do your liquids in separate containers. But today for this, I had this prepared ahead of time by my darling daughter Bridget, who's working with me today. And so she's put everything in separate containers. But to measure, it must be correct. You must use a digital scale for making soap. You cannot jerry-rig it in any other fashion. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. So we are going to have, oh, and I can take this off now. I'll leave my gloves though, it'll keep my hands clean. So you just put it on tare, or you can turn your scale on, put your bowl on, and then hit tare, and it will go to 0. But just make sure you're on ounces or pounds and ounces, and you've tared it so that you've got 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay? So we'll set that off, and we'll set our scale off. We're using 13 ounces of coconut oil, and we're going to put that in our crock pot. And we are using a spatula to get out every little bit, because every little bit is a part of the recipe. So if you don't clean all of it out, you don't get all of it in your recipe, and then your recipe is wrong. And when you're working with lye, it's very important to be accurate. Bridget, I'll hand that to you. And we're using 13, oh, is it 13 or 26?
20 water or what?
The coconut oil.
26.
Sorry about that. We're doing a double batch. A double batch is 2 times 13. So, and we're using 26 ounces of lard. And lard and coconut makes awesome soap. And one of the things that I love about lard and coconut is they turn 100% into soap. So I'm making a recipe where I'm going to put my super fats in separate. I'll talk to you about that as we go. So I'm using base oils that turn 100% into soap. All right, Miss Bridget, can I hand you this one here?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have one more for you in a minute.
Okay.
All right, and then this is our soybean oil. Olive oil doesn't turn 100% into soap, but soybean oil is a high saponifiable. So anyway, so now we're gonna put our soybean oil in there, and when you put it in recipes, I think it does great things for your soap recipe. And so when you're testing out different oils, I tested out canola, corn, soybean, which is vegetable oil at the store predominantly. Read the back of your labels. Olive oil, grapeseed oil, all these different oils, and soybean oil won hands down.
You do?
And so now, I'm going to put
Change your hair.
could y'all keep the volume down just a touch?
No,
Please, just a touch. All right, and so now we're going to put stearic acid in here. So we're going to put in 2 ounces of stearic acid. All right, and now we'll put our lid on it, and I'm going to put it on high to get the oils to cool down quickly, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, everybody. I had a customer, sorry about that. She's a friend of mine, and she was like, oh, hey, Bridget, and everything. I was like, wait, shh. Anyway, so I had to go out there and be nice because I'd shushed her. Do you shush customers? She's a friend of mine, thank goodness. But anyway, we're gonna make Essential Depot Cocoa Butter Soap. So here is the cocoa butter. And I may put a little tag on the beginning of this video about it as well. But they've got this stuff in these big old blocks. I'm so excited, and the price was really good. And it's Green Life certification is pending. So, ooh, I don't know what that means yet, but I guess I'll find out. We'll have to read about that. So anyway, and it's pure cocoa butter, finest quality organic cocoa butter, natural and unrefined, for use in soap and cosmetic making, not for internal use. I think they're very smart to put that not for internal use thing on there, although people cooking this stuff in other countries. All right, but then they don't have to worry about lawsuits if they told you not to eat it. And I noticed that we've got this on the label here. And this says Green Life certification pending right here. Well, there we go. I don't know, can you see that good? There we go. So I told you they was doing something different, or I've told a few people they were doing something different with their essential oils. I picked that up, and I think that's where it went. It's patchouli.
Yeah,
is this my tea?
It is.
Woo, I got licorice root tea. With coconut sugar. It's awesome. Okay, so anyway, so I'm really excited about this cocoa butter. I'm really excited about the affordable price. I absolutely hate these little bitty tubs. This right here, because it's so hard to get a hard cocoa butter out of here. And so, is this one got a lid on it that's not been sealed? Is this the one you were melting out of?
No, this is in the microwave.
How did this one get in here?
I pulled it out.
Oh, it was underneath the shelf. All right, so I was like, I know I priced those and put those out on the shelf. So anyway, so if you'll see here, see this one is an older one, and it doesn't have that Green Life certification pending label on there. So in any case, I've had this one for many months. It was just hiding down there, but for my own personal use back here at the store. But I hate getting this out. It's so hard to get it out of this plastic container. When they had it in the flat oval chunks, when they had those, you know, you could just chisel them things and break off big chunks and break them up and put them in your measurer and whatnot. So anyway, are you still working on that cocoa butter?
I am still working on it. It's still hard as a little rock.
Still hard as a little rock. That's the way that stuff is. And so we do have our shea butter. We've got 2 ounces of shea butter and 2 ounces of olive oil and a teaspoon of Essential Depot vitamin E. There we go. It's full strength kosher food grade, and it probably says don't put it in your mouth. And their food grade glycerin as well in here, 2 tablespoons. Now this is a double batch, so you just divide everything I tell you in half. So it's, if you want to do a single batch in one of the small crock pots, this is a 7-quart crock pot. You need a 7-quart crock pot for a double batch or bigger. So we've got 2 ounces of shea butter, 2 ounces of olive oil, a teaspoon of vitamin E, and 2 tablespoons of glycerin from Essential Depot in here. And we're going to put that right next to the crock pot so that it gets warm. And now we'll talk about some of the other things we need after I have a sip of tea. Which was hot. Alright, so I've got 2 spoons, stainless steel. I've got a wooden spoon. Some people don't like the wooden spoons because they say that, you know, little pieces of wood can get off in your soap, so that's a personal choice. I have a stainless steel cake icing spatula. I love those things. Stainless steel cake spatula. Alright, I have 2 of these, but I've sent one to be washed because I've already used it. This is little Betty Crocker ones you can get for $1 at the Dollar Tree. I love these. Every once in a while, Betty Crocker will send all their stuff over to the Dollar Tree that they hadn't sold. Then I have a TEA, T as in what I'm drinking spoon. It's extra long. You can use something else, but I love these for doing the swirls in the soaps. And then I have a whisk, a small one for whisking spices into things to blend, and so we always try to keep one of those. And then I have a container for my essential oils. I haven't decided yet what essential oils, if any, I'm going to put in this cocoa butter soap, but we will see. And I tell you, putting that chocolate fragrance oil from Essential Depot in there would be snazzy. Chocolate and cocoa butter soap.
Ooh, that sounds good, Mama.
I know, but I am an essential oil girl. Y'all know that. So there's nothing like the health benefits of essential oils. I don't care how you rub them on you, as long as they're okay to rub on you, they're good for you. And so, anyway, and so I've got my stick blender. My stick blender, I wear these things out so fast, and I just love this pink one. I bought 2 of these, and it lasts me for years. This one, it broke in the wand in here, and so this is one from one of the previous ones because I kept the wands. I threw it away where the motors died, and it fits almost. It's slightly different, so I put tape around it so it can't come loose because it would slip off, but it works. And and then I'm gonna have to order another one. Anyway, so we've got our soap melting, our oils melting, our lye water is in the freezer, our super fats, except for the cocoa butter that Bridget's working on because it's hard as a rock and we're having to try to melt it down really gently on defrost in the microwave, which is considered safe, although I know a lot of people don't like microwaves, so you can do this in a double boiler on your stove. And we've got slushy goat's milk, 13.6 ounces. All right, and we'll go over all the measurements and ounces and stuff like that again.
It melted.
All right, it finally melted.
I think enough to get us what we need out of it.
All right, okay, we'll bring you back. Hey everybody. All right, our oils are melted to the point of being clear. So somebody sent me this really nice lady. It's one of them radar gun thermometers. So it says that my oil is 149.6. So let's get a couple of these thermometers and swirl them around in here. and they all believe, every one of them exactly on the dot, that my oils are 140 degrees. So they're saying exactly 140, all three of them. So let's do this again. Okay, and they're saying 147.6. Okay, so I have a couple of modes here. I can do maximum and minimum. So let's see what happens when I use minimum. I think that's the space of that it scans, and like a small space compared to a big. And it's still saying 146.7. So according to this, it's like 7 degrees off, according to 3 old-fashioned candy thermometers, which all agreed at 140. So, you know, but it's a good quick tester, and then you can always go in and do your thermometer for sure. All right, because it takes a little longer, you know, swishing it around and waiting. All right. So we've got our oils cooling. We need to get them down. They're too hot at the moment. Let's check our water, and I would call it warm to the touch. I'm going to swish it around a little bit, you know, so that, because it's getting the cold from the outside. So I'm going to swish it around a little bit and put it back in there, because we want it cold. You can also put it down in an ice bath. Just make sure it can't flip over in the ice bath and you have icy diluted lye water. So, all right, so we're still brewing. We have decided to do 10 ounces of cocoa butter. So this is going to be a heavily superfatted soap, and it's going to be a cocoa butter soap. And we are really debating with cocoa butter and lavender, because lavender always sells. Lavender's just a great sale. So for you at home, you can use anywhere from 2 ounces to 10 ounces of cocoa butter. And I believe, because we took out the coconut oil, yeah, we took out 2 ounces of coconut oil and trading it for cocoa butter. So we've got, in our super fats, we've got 2 ounces of shea butter, 2 ounces of olive oil, a teaspoon of vitamin E, and 2 tablespoons of glycerin. And you can use anywhere from 2 ounces to 10 ounces of cocoa butter. And we are using Essential Depot's Green Life Pending Certified, totally pure, organic, unrefined cocoa butter in this wonderful handy dandy new size. It's a 5-pound brick, I think. Yeah, 5 pounds. And it's a brick. That stuff's hard. All right, so we'll bring you back. All right, so let's see what we got on temperature. I guess I could stir it. Okay, it says 141. And our thermometers say $130. So I'm going to go with my thermometers. And what did I do with my gloves? Where did I put those things at, Bridget?
Set them up there.
I don't know. I just had them on. I shouldn't have hauled them off and thrown them away or nothing. They're the kind you keep. Just bring me a pair.
No, those are no.
Well, I guess I'll have to find my gloves. I've ate them. I'll be right back. I had taken them off to help a customer, and they were up front on the counter. All right, so We have our stick blender. And we have our cold to the touch lye that's been in the freezer. And we have our oils. I'm going to bring you up close and personal, so you can see what's going on with all this. So here we come. There we go. And so you can see that the oils are clear. There's nothing in any way that looks cloudy about them. And we've got our stick blender. And there we go. And it's 110 to 130 on your oils. And see, if you can, through the beauty of YouTube, if you can see those little swirls up on the top, that's either water or oil or lye water that's not been mixed. You have to have a good pudding consistency. And you have to keep those holes below the line. If you pull it up like this, it's going to spew lye water and oil at you. And you can also turn the motor off and do faster swirls up on the top with the motor off, so that you know that you've got it good. All right. So now I'm going to put that in that, and I'm going to set this off to the side where it's balanced and will not fall over, because I'm going to need it to put my milk in. So now I'm going to turn that on low, and I'm going to put the lid on it. And basically what I'm doing is I'm giving the lye an opportunity to use the magnitude of its power to turn the oils that's in here into soap. This is our super fats. Would you go get me the other bowl of super fats? I separated it out for a minute. And
Where's that?
And so we have our super fats here and in the other bowl. Okay, that's the oil that's going to float around in this soap to make your skin feel great. So this right here is what I call the base oils, and so these are all doing their thing, perking along. And so this is the rest of our moisture here in the form of our goat's milk. So we're going to add that in just a few minutes. And so here is our other super fats. This is the vitamin E, the olive oil, the shea butter, and then this is our coconut oil, which we'll probably have to pre-melt again when we're ready for it, because it gets hard so easy. And we do that on defrost in the microwave. So now while we've been talking, I think the lye has had an opportunity to work on these oils. So let's stir them. All right, and remember to be using your goggles. And so now we're going to take our spatula and we'll get that out of there. So it's had a couple of minutes to do its work. So now we're going to take this cold milk and put it in here. And take our stick blender again. You can use a spoon, but I like to just blend it with a stick blender. And so now the soap has been given all of the moisture that it's supposed to have, where before 13.6 ounces of it had been robbed from the mixture. So if you're using a different recipe and it calls for 10 ounces of water, you would do 5 ounces goat's milk and 5 ounce water. And then you give the moisture back to the soap via the goat's milk at this time. Now, some people will mix their goat's milk, their lye powder, into the goat's milk. And in my opinion, why torture the goat's milk? You know, I've let the lye have a chemical reaction with the water. Now I'm let it have a chemical reaction with the oils. So the last thing I'm giving it, per se, is the goat's milk. So maybe less damage is done to the goat's milk. That's my thinking. I'm going to stick to it. All right. I've got my gloves off now and everything, but technically this is still in what we call gel phase, and so technically this right here has still got active lye in it. This over here is soap. With this, sometimes this thick layer will just be on the top. See that? And this right here will get too hot on the bottom and start burning. So it's important when you're making goat's milk soap that you check that, because see, it looked like the whole thing was still in gel and we just had a little bitty layer of actual soap, but that was not true. So we have to really watch this stuff. It'll trick you, and if it burns, it stinks to high heaven, and in my opinion you can't save it. It just ain't happening. All right, so we're going to just wait till it comes out of gel. We're going to let these chunks here, we're going to break them up and let them come out of gel as well. So we're going to let it just cook just a little bit longer, and then we'll get on to business. All right, so now I am pretty sure that our yeah, we're completely out of gel. I turned the crock pot off, and I didn't tell you, sorry, whenever I saw that we just had a little bit. And if you'll notice, this looks sort of like oatmeal. Let me get you in. Every once in a while this won't happen, but predominantly this is what we call it separates, okay? And so what we do to get it back is we stick blend it. So we're going to stick blend it. Is that high? Yeah, that's high. See it turn back into soap? And it's not a, like, you know, you can take it and do it like this, you know, to help blend it as you're going, but I find it's a circular motion that does best to blend. Okay. All right. So now we have, if your crock pot gets too hot on low and does not have a warm setting, then you can't, if you burn your goat's milk, if you can tell it's just getting too hot on you, it's a very, very fine line. You've got to use, you know, your oils, you want your milk cool, and you want your lye water cold, in my opinion, to do this. And it's a fine line. If you walk off and leave this took a very short period of time. Like, this is like a 45-minute process, and you've got soap once you get everything going. All right, so this is our shea butter and our olive oil and our glycerin and our vitamin E. Mmm. Mmm. All right. And now this is our cocoa butter, 10 whole ounces, because this is cocoa butter soap. And we're putting it in the end after the lye is dead, so the lye never gets to alter this product and eat on it, in my opinion. And so now we're going to put that in. And you can use your stick blender during this process if you want to. I think I shall. Hey, Bridget, come over here and smell heaven. Get in there. Come in here. Smell that cocoa butter.
Oh, you could eat it.
I know.
That cocoa butter is just evil stuff. It smells too good on me.
Would you go over there and get me a crock pot over there? That's, yeah, that one that looks nice right there. There we go. Okay, so this says 178.60, and we're gonna plug this up. Take that away, and we're gonna. This has still got things on it here, and I need to make the cord longer. And so I'm going to unplug my stick blender. This thing has a long, yeah, it has a short cord. And so don't plug that up. And we've got our soap right here. And we're going to get rid of our stick blender. The hook. Oh, okay. In just a moment, you can take them on to the back there, and then we'll have them come in just a minute. All right, and so we've got our, we'll get my utensils over here now, and get this lid, and turn this crock on high to warm it up just a little bit, because we're going to do a swirl combination with oats, I've decided, and we're going to add some honey. I've got fresh honey and oats to half of this soap, but we need to just cool it down just a little bit, and then we'll do it. Okay, everybody. All right, so let's see what's going on with our temperatures. I'm going to stir the soap. Sorry I'm giving you my back, but I got a surprise. So I pulled the camera back. And we're going to put a couple of thermometers in there. Use this newfangled infrared thing. I don't know how to say it. But it says 175. And come on, come on, come on. Here, let me get this chair. Look who's come to see us. I'm gonna stand you up in it. Uh-oh, I lost your shoe. Can you fix him, Mama?
Yeah.
It's not strapped on good.
That's he unbuckled it in the car.
Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. There we go. And then we'll get this one tighter. There we go. Now, say, can you see yourself?
Yeah.
Say hi to YouTube. Say hi, YouTube.
Don't steal my brother's sandwich.
This is, I'm not doing it. All right, and this is Jasper. Look at Jasper, how he's growed. I'm telling you guys, let's get the camera up here and let's see if we can see y'all even better. Look at the baby and how he's growed.
So I'm walking him, not even a year yet.
Oh, how old is he?
He's 11 months. Started walking at about 10.
Oh, and how old is
Henry's 4.
Henry's 4, and he's got him a McDonald's hamburger. Woohoo! All right.
Yeah, that's good stuff, ain't it?
And they look so nice. You dressed him up so cute today.
Yeah. See, I had to. Daddy would have just put whatever on him.
And say, are you standing on a chair?
Yeah.
Are you gonna fall?
No.
That's right.
So he don't normally stand on the chairs.
I
So
know.
he's totally like, what? You're making me.
But I had to get you up high enough where you could be seen on the camera so the people on the YouTube could see you. There's people watching you right now. Yeah. Can you say hi to YouTube? He says, Mama, there's people watching me. Say hi.
Say hi.
There you go. All right. And say, you can say hi too in your own little way. What was your new word?
Bubba.
Did he call you Bubba today?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's just growing leaps and bounds, ain't he?
Mm-hmm. So he was playing Attack Daddy this morning, in which Daddy hides under the cover, and Jasper immediately finds him and yanks the cover off and cackles. And then he says, he turns around because he heard Henry in the living room. He goes, Bubba.
Has Mama been helping me today?
Yeah.
She's been helping me at the store, hasn't she? All right. Say bye.
Bye-bye.
There we go. All right.
Sandwich thief.
Okay, guys. This is what I'm up to. Okay, now you could do this 2 different ways. Okay? One, you could put one color being completely solid, and part of it not being solid, or you could do a swirl, I think. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put oats in half of the soap that has been tinted. So I've got a cup here, so I've got to divide it up, so that's about a half a cup each. So this half a cup I'm going to put in this soap, and it's not going to be tinted at all. And oh, I hadn't divided my soap. Oh, I'm so silly. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So we're at 170, it says. So what we need to do now, because Kimberly's silly, is move this over so that these oats here don't get in it. What we're going to do is we're going to take about half the soap and put it over here. And so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 spoonfuls I'm putting over here. Just a little bit of oats came with it. So now I'm going to stir this oats up. And that wasn't an exact halfers, but it's close. And it'll do what I want it to do. So we're mixing the oats up in here. You can also add honey if you want to. So in this batch over here, which is not quite half, but it was close, and even with this oats is not colored, so I could do another one and it's not affecting it. So there's 2 more, so that makes it more like half. Now on this one here, I'm going to use this. I haven't never took this out of the bag from when I ordered it. I just recently got this. I have Essential Depot's alkanet root. Let me see if I line this up right. There you go. And with the alkanet root, I've got some in a little bag left over from one of my starter kits. And so I'm going to put, this is 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm going to start out with a 1/2 teaspoon of alkanet root. And I'm going to swirl it around in the oats like this, dividing it out well. I've never done this before, so I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. And I think I want to go a touch stronger, so I'm going to do one more. So that's a 1/4 of a teaspoon of alkanet root. All right. And I'm breaking up all the little nodulars of it, and so that I've got it well blended into my oats. All right, and now I'm going to put that portion in this preheated crock pot that I turned off just as soon as I saw that, as soon as I put the soap in it. And so now I'm going to stir these tinted oats in here, and I'm going to unplug both these crock pots so I got more room, and I'm going to move this a little closer to you so you can see what I'm doing. I just want to see how this effect would be if you were using turmeric or rosemary or something like that. You would use much more spice, but alkanet root is very potent. So would you get me the lavender from in front? All right. And so that looked like it was a very good avenue for adding the tint to the soap. And I'm very pleased because, you know, we've put it in the super fats, but I am very pleased with that. So we're going to let this continue to cool. And so this is ready for the sink. And I need a clean spatula.
Okay.
And then this is our original soap. And I'm continuing to keep it stirred so we don't get crispies. And we'll check the temperature again with this. And so it's saying 164. And so now we'll check this one. So this one's saying 154. And so now we'll take some thermometers and just double check that we're under 160 here. And making sure it does not touch the bottom. And we are definitely under 160. So that means that we can add our essential oils. So I'm going to push this one out of the way, push this one here, and we're going to use lavender in these. So we're going to take our container and put it on there and turn that on. And that's just a touch too much. All right, so that's roughly about 1.5 ounces of lavender. And then I want to finish it up with French lavender. All right, so I'm going to try 2 ounces to start of the lavender and the French lavender and see how that brews. And that's going to go in our tinted soap only. We're under 160. We have to be under 160 to add essential oils. And I'm also going to add to this about 2 tablespoons there we go, that's about 2 tablespoons of honey. I'm not adding the honey to the cocoa butter portion or anything that might add scent, because I'm trying, hopefully, to keep the smell of the cocoa butter. So I'm adding my scent to this portion of the soap only. Well, I found a little bit of colored oats down there in the crevices that didn't get blended. And your French lavender has more of a floral smell, and your regular lavender has more it just has regular lavender smell. Regular lavender, when you take the lavender buds and you smell them, it has a bit of a chemical note on the background, and that's the way real lavender smells. But the French lavender has more of a floral. Okay, and so in my opinion, this is perfect. So that's not right. We got to have more. So I'm going to tear it out. So I'm going to put, okay, just roughly an ounce, and then pull it on up. And I'm being spilly because I'm hurrying. Okay, so that's about another 1.5 ounces. So I'm adding, that'd be 3.5 ounces total, roughly, that we've added. Remember, lavender is the most benign essential oil in the essential oil family, in my opinion. They claim that you can apply it to brand new newborn baby skin. So we wouldn't put this strong of a portion of essential oil of another kind. But lavender being so benign, and of course being the most healing essential oil to the skin. Plus it helps you rest. It's very peace and calming. Would you get me 2 of the best looking molds I got? Hey Bridget, smell that and see if it smells nice and lavendery and a little strong. Alright. Now I'm going to back you up a little bit.
This one's good.
Alright, give that a sniff.
Is that one okay?
Yeah, give that lavender soap a sniff. Is that heavenly? Mm-hmm. Alright, so what we're going to do now,
I think I'm going to put that on.
would you put the lavender up in there and this up right there?
Yes.
Alright. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a swirl. So I'm going to get you up right above it where you can see good, I hope. And we're going to start putting her in. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to divvy that out. 1, which was a little bit big. 2, 3. Okay, so 1, 1, 1. So now we're at equal amounts. So I'm gonna put my spoon, because it's nice and moist and soft. If this wasn't goat's milk soap, 9 times out of 10 you wouldn't be able to do that, because the soap would be hard and crunchy if it was on the spoon. Alright, and then do the other side, scrape the crock pot out. with the other, and that should get us a good even amount per side. And all right, now we'll get our other and plop this on top. And of course you could have done 3 layers. And I'm just dividing this out. I put a spoonful one place, I put a spoonful the other. That spoonful was just a little small a while ago, so I gave it 2 smalls. Okay. Now we're going to get the air out. That's a little bit of the purple. There's a little bit of purple. I don't know what it come off of. I have the foggiest notion. Alright, so we look like we're about the same. So now we're going to take our TEA spoon. And I didn't worry too much about the temperature of the cocoa butter soap, the brown soap, because I wasn't putting essential oils in it. It was a touch over 160, but it was okay. Alright, so now I'm going to go this way and this way and this way. And, oh, that's sort of pretty. It's a little odd, but it's pretty. Alright, so then I'm going to beat it down a touch. Alright. And we'll keep that for a soap ball. Alright. Same thing here. Gonna every now and then you have to dump the soap off your spoon or it won't swirl good. Alright. Alright. Then I'm going to take and do that. And it's sort of odd and unusual and fun and cute little design. I like it. Has no regularity about it, but it's very odd. And now we will, this is our little soap ball, and we'll see what we think of this soap at the sink in a minute when this hardens up. Alright, so there is our fun new soap, and this is cocoa butter, oats, honey, and lavender, but I'm just going to call it cocoa butter and lavender. It's hot right now, so let me smell it. And I can smell the cocoa butter at this point. We'll just have to hope that it translates into the finished product. Okay, we're going to try our soap ball. Seems to have lots of good lather. Oh, let me get this in the right place. Very lathery. Feels like heaven. I mean, it really you can really feel that extra cocoa butter feel, I think. I put a little extra water in my hand, and we're getting lots of lather and bubble. I try to make all my soaps very bubbly, very moisturizing. And there you go. And you know it, the lie is dead. I'm not in any pain. So let me get a towel here. and dry my hands. I've got some activated charcoal on me. And yes, my skin feels like I put lotion on. It feels very, very good. It doesn't feel dried out or stripped or anything. It feels awesome. What do you think about my new bracelet? Isn't that nice? Steve bought that for me. I just love it. That yellow, I think, looks really good with my skin. See? Yep. Okay. So anyway, so I think my skin feels awesome. So I think cocoa butter soap is pretty awesome. Hey everybody. Okay, we are back. It is day 2 on the cutting the soap before the lavender cocoa butter soap. And here is our beautiful soaps. Aren't they pretty? And they radiate. What do you think, Steve?
Smells good.
Smells good? Well, you can when you're here, it's coming after you. And we didn't even put scent in the off color, just in the purple. And there's just a little bit of purple showing up here. So that scent's radiating off just that little bit. I can't believe what it's going to be like when I cut into it. There's nothing like that French lavender. Now you can do all French lavender in this soap. But remember, French lavender has different properties than regular lavender. So when you purchase Essential Depot's regular lavender, you will not get as floral of a smell. But you get the more skin healing properties, where the French lavender has more of the relaxing properties. So by just sprucing up the regular lavender with a little French lavender, maybe you won't knock everybody out, you know? Because I sell just the French lavender soap, and that makes you go to sleep. People take it, give their kids baths at night with it, and they take baths at night with it, and they're just like, they're ready to go. And so I thought, well, I don't want to do all French lavender, because I want this soap to be something you can take a bath with any time of the day and not get drowsy. And by the way, this is Steve Hodes, my fiance. Say hi to YouTube.
Hey, YouTube.
And so I wanted this to be an anytime soap. So here we go. And we're going to cut it, but I wanted to talk about these new blocks that Essential Depot has with their Green Life Certificate pending label. And I hope to find out even more about that. And I'm so excited that we now have it in a form that I can just, chisel me off some and break it up, because in those little tubs, it is so hard to get that cocoa butter out. So I'm so excited about this, and they have a really great price on this on their website right now, and even a great price with it comboed with the shea butter, which I bought the combo. I actually got the block of shea butter and the block of cocoa butter. And we're using their awesome mold, their awesome cutter, excuse me. This is the one where you can put any length of loaf in it. And so I like this one, so I pulled it off to use it. And I wanted to go over the recipe before we cut it. It's 26, get your pencil and paper, put your pause me or whatever, and then get you a pencil and paper, because we're gonna go over the recipe again. All right, so it is 26 ounces of coconut oil. Coconut oil is a very good saponifiable oil, so that makes a great base oil. Plus, coconut oil makes a very hard bar of soap, and it makes a very bubbly bar of soap. And everybody likes their soap to bubble. Do you like your soap?
I do. I like suds.
You like suds. All right. And then we have 26 ounces of lard. Lard has been traditionally used in soap making for eons, and lard makes a really hard bar. Lard's not real big on bubbles. It'll clean you, but you ain't gonna feel bubbly. All right, and then we have 16 ounces of soybean. And I like to always put at least one liquid oil in a soap recipe. And soybean oil, hands down, won my attention and praise in every test I've done. When I'm running recipes through the soap cow. Did you know you could put grapeseed oil in there?
I didn't even know there was such thing as grapeseed.
Well, and it's darn expensive too. And it don't do a better job than soybean oil does. It'll put vitamin E in your soap, but why not just squirt some vitamin E in your soap instead of spending all that money on that grapeseed oil? That's what I think. Anyway, so then we're putting 2 ounces of stearic acid in here. Stearic acid is a natural derivative from soap process. It makes the bar of soap harder, okay? You can eliminate the stearic acid if you don't wish to purchase it, but you will have to run this recipe back through the soap calculator to find out how much lye to use. Now, your coconut oil, your lard, and your soybean oil is all you run through the soap calculator. We're not going to add these super fats to it. You put it on 0 super fat on when you're doing your recipe. Change it from 5% or whatever the standard amount it puts on the page. Change that to 0 and do your recipe with just 26 ounce coconut, 26 ounces lard, 16 ounces soybean, and get the lye and water that it calls for. The water should be the same. All right, then this is our super fats. That little 5% that it was gonna put on there that was stacked, usually is factory on the soap calculators online, that's the percentage of oil that you don't want to turn into soap. And this recipe is a much higher percentage, and I've been bad. I haven't checked to see how high it is yet. This recipe, I believe, is a standard 8%, so we're looking at getting it up to 15 or 20%. So this soap really moisturizes, but you do have the risk if you have a really slick tub that this might make your tub a little slicker on the bottom. So do be cautious. All right, so then our super fats, and the reason I told you to run it through the soap calculator is if you don't use stearic acid and you don't want to use stearic acid, then you've got to the lye's got to be reduced from 11 ounces. And I'm not sure if I told you that. The lye is 11 ounces and the water is 26.6. Now, we used 13.6 ounces of goat's milk, so therefore we used 13 ounces of water. We put all the lye in half the water, well, slightly under half, and we let the lye do all that's heating and clouding and steaming and fussing in the water, not in our goat's milk, and then put it in the freezer to get really cold. We defrosted the goat's milk till it was just slushy, but still good and cold. All right, I freeze it up ahead of time when I buy it in the big gallon jug from my local farmer. And no, you can't use that powdered goat's milk. I don't know where that stuff's been. This is a natural soap. I'm just playing. Use what you can use, but I prefer to get it from the goat and get it myself. But you can buy goat's milk in the stores. It's been pasteurized. It's better than putting 100% water in there, but when you can, find a goat. Make friends with it. Get some milk. All right. So now, on our super fats, we have 2% coconut oil. That was what this is my factory super fat recipe for this recipe. 2 ounces of coconut oil, 2 ounces olive oil, 2 ounces of shea butter, 1 teaspoon of essential deposed vitamin E, and 2 tablespoons of essential deposed glycerin. But what I did was I took the coconut out. So we robbed this super fat recipe of its coconut, and we added cocoa butter, and we added a lot. So your recipe for your super fats will be, write this down, 2 ounces of olive oil, 2 ounces of shea butter, 1 teaspoon vitamin E, and 2 tablespoons glycerin. Then you can add from 2, no less than 2, up to 10 ounces of cocoa butter. You can fluctuate because the lye does its job up here with this. This is not affected by the lye, so it's okay if you play with it. Now, if you take the olive oil out, it's not as moisturizing. Olive oil lays on the top of the skin, so it's a better moisturizer. Cocoa butter, the same. It has some penetrating skills, but it's really great to lay on top of the skin. So don't take the olive oil out. On the shea butter has great penetrating skills. It's very healing to the skin, so don't take it out. But if you want to reduce the olive oil, let's say by 1/2 ounce and put some grapeseed oil in there because you got it and you want to try it, that's cool. But I've had people call me that didn't use the olive oil and they're like, this soap is stripping. I'm like, did you take the olive oil out? Yep, there you go. So don't do it. Just don't do it. Just slap yourself. Don't do it. and add as much cocoa butter as you want to, up to 10 ounces. All right, so now we also used 1 cup of oats. We put half of the oats in the uncolored soap, and then we took the other half a cup and we put 3/4 teaspoon of alkanet root in it. You can put turmeric. As I said, this is the first time I tried adding the colorant to the oats. Turmeric might respond differently, other natural colorants might, but the alkanet root did fine. You'll have to play with it yourself and find out if you want to continue doing this. So I added 3/4 of a teaspoon of alkanet to half of the cup of the oats and whisked it great and blended it up really, really good, and then we put it in the other half of the soap. We also put 2 tablespoons of honey in the non-colored soap. All right, do we get that? You can rewind me back and forth. Okay, so you ready to cut it?
I love to.
All right. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. Oh, and this is the Essential Depot stacking frames. They're really great for people that put them in the oven too, because you got something to hold on that does that CO something or another. It's not COPD, that's a disease. But but it's CO something. It's C-pop or hop or something. Anyway, if you put your soap in the oven to cook it in the mold, these things are just awesome. And they're awesome for stacking them up because they stack on top of each other really nice. See, I didn't hit you. You was smart. That thing was coming towards my face. I just knew it was coming after me, didn't you? All right. So anyway. So it's really easy. We just put, oh, I felt it. It fell right out. So there's their first one. And it feels really nice already.
It's like chocolate peanut butter.
It looks like chocolate and peanut butter, Amy says. All right. And then here's our other one. Here, you do it. Pull the sides apart. Do the ends. You got to take it and really yank it. There you go. Was that easy?
Yeah.
All right, flip it over. Ah, see? It just fell right out, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Just fell right out. Even men can do it. Oh, they're going to get me for that one. Ah! And now I'm going to just pull off the little extra pieces sticking up. And everything. And guess what we're going to do with it?
Wash.
The scraps. What are we going to do with the scraps?
We're gonna put them in one of them bags and wash with.
He says, I'm not dumb. I saw you with that bag. And what do you like about that little, you like, this one here, I told him, I said, I'll put some soap in this bag for you, see if you like it. And he did, and now that's all you take a bath with is soap in a bag. So, I got you a black one.
All right.
Black's for boys. Okay? And we're gonna put all these wonderful little scraps in here. And I think we should start selling these at the store, full of our soap scraps, because you just dry it up and then you get it wet and it just lathers like awesome, don't it?
Yeah, it works better than a bar.
Works better than a bar. That's what it was, he said. It works better than a bar. So anyway, all right, so now here we go. I don't know, do you think a man could cut this soap?
He probably could, but it might damage it.
Oh man. Okay, so now I'm gonna put some weight on it because I'm not standing.
Good sound.
It is. There she is. Isn't that pretty?
It is.
Look, Amy.
Yes.
Oh, aren't they pretty? Oh, that side's pretty too.
Oh, it looks good enough to eat.
I know. Let's see what it smells like. Oh, come here and smell it, Amy. You can smell the cocoa butter in there and the lavender in there.
Oh my.
Yes. Take one over there and let her smell it. You smell it. What do you think?
It does smell like.
That's good.
Isn't that heavenly?
Smells like peanut butter.
It
It
does.
smells like peanut butter.
All three of us. do
Maybe
that.
we should name this one peanut butter.
Hey, we might ought to make a cocoa butter and peanut butter soap. We could put 10 ounces of cocoa butter in there, or maybe 5 ounces of cocoa butter and 5 ounces of peanut butter. And get one of them organic peanut butters, guys. Don't you use Skippy. All right.
Or Peter Pan.
Or Peter Pan. When I was a little kid, I just loved Peter Pan. I didn't know they were taking the peanut oil out and putting what you call it, Crisco in it.
Oh, you're
Crisco.
kidding.
Didn't you know that? That's how they keep it together. You know how when you buy the natural peanut butter, the oil floats to the top. Well, they took the oil off of it and they sell that to the oil companies when they grind it, and then they put. And of course, some oil remains, and then they put like Crisco in there, vegetable oil that's been homogenized, so that when you use your peanut butter, it's creamy and everything, but the oil's not constantly separating in your jar.
Didn't know that.
So they sell the good stuff.
Yeah, and normally you probably should let your scraps like cure, but we're not gonna do it. Okay, so now we do the next one. And Steve, it's really easy to use the Essential Depot cutter.
Is it?
Anybody can do it.
You load it, not cut it.
No, anybody can do it. Now look through here. See how you can't see through here and you can't see through here?
All right.
All right, and then when you bring it down, you look at this little metal wire and you say, is it look like it's about even on each side?
Yeah.
Okay, well then you just cut it. He says, I gotta get up.
Yeah.
See? No, don't lift. We take the bars off at the top. I told you anybody could do it, but we gotta have
Hey.
directions. No, you did it fine. But we take the bars off first, because see what happens?
Yeah.
You're gonna dump them out on the floor. So anyway, but look at that. Didn't you do a good job?
He did it perfect.
The cutter did the work.
Yeah, but you use the cutter. It's just a tool. It's just one of the most awesome tools in the soaping industry.
It worked good for cheese too.
I'm sorry. I had a man come in here one time and he saw my cutter up on the bar and he said, do you sell those? And I was like, well, I could buy you one. And he's a cheese freak and he bought it to cut his cheese.
Perfect.
Yeah, it is.
I couldn't help but laugh when you said that.
That's really cool.
Oh, this is one of my favorite ones.
It would be perfect though.
Oh, and you can smell the cocoa butter. I hope so much that the cocoa butter continues to translate into the soap whenever it is cured. We will find out. And now we can take our scraps. Yeah.
You want a peanut butter sandwich once you get there.
Yeah.
You're taking a bath.
And we'll just put it in here. And now we can go home and we
Bath.
and take a bath.
Give me a bath this week.
Now, me and Steve laugh a lot because we get each other's jokes. So anyway, so that's 4 or 5 baths, we think.
Yeah.
Okay. So now another thing I thought that I would mention to you soapers is a lot of times you have soap scraps. Now these have cured in the bucket, and a lot of times you have these little end pieces, and you can put several of those in these little things, and you could also just scoop down and get your scraps, and everything, and just load them in there as well. But I see a few bar scraps that I'm really fond of in the long pieces, so I'm gonna load mine up with those pieces that I'm really fond of already. Let's see, from the last time I cut soap. and I'm gonna put those in there. I've got some bar number 2, some bar number 11, some bar number 22, and some bar number 9. And that makes me a very happy, oh, and some bar number 11. So that makes me a happy camper right there. And so I'm gonna do that right there in mine.
And what you could do,
What?
add all the numbers together and call it bag number.
Say 11, 12, 13. Boy, that bar number's gonna be a high number. Because there was a bar number 22 in there too. Anyway, don't make your knot real hard to untie, because then you have to figure out how to untie it to get it open to put more soap in. And I forget what they call these. So we're gonna take these home, right?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
$8 for the first down.
Look at you, you're excited.
I get a bath tonight.
Oh man. So try some of Essential Depot's cocoa butter. If you don't have one of their coaters and their molds and frames, treat yourself if you can. I know times are hard and we have to afford things as we can afford them in the soaping industry. Many of us are hobby soapers. But you know, there's Christmas, it's coming up. Birthdays are gonna happen. Mother's Day's not come yet. And whatnot, but as you can afford it, it makes soaping so much easier. The molds and the frames and the cutter. And I appreciate you using my link. It really helps me out, and I take it as a trade-off because I give you these wonderful free recipes, and then I appreciate you for using my link to Essential Depot whenever you purchase things. You can use it when you're just poking around though. I mean, there's no limit on how many times you can click on that thing. No way. If you can't laugh, you might as well go home. That's my opinion. If you can't share love and joy and happiness to people in your life, you just get all miserable anyway. You might as well just go ahead and be happy. It makes everybody happier, don't it?
I like being happy.
I do too.
I hate being sad.
I don't like being sad either. All right, so bye everybody. Hey, would you hit that red button again? Just not yet. Wait a minute, I gotta say one more thing. Thank you so much for watching my videos. And I'm sorry that I haven't put a video on in a while, and I promise to do better. Bye everybody.